Welcome to Great Discoveries and Inventions. Today in the program, two amazing stories about two discoveries that were made by chance.
A man was suffering from malaria in a jungle high in the Andes. He had a fever, a severe headache, and was shivering with cold. He was very thirsty, so he drank some water from a small pool next to a tree. It tasted strange and bitter, but it satisfied his thirst. Soon afterwards, the man's fever dropped and he felt better. That's how the Indians discovered that the bark of the cinchona tree can be used to treat malaria. Quinine was discovered. If the man hadn't been thirsty, he wouldn't have drunk from a pool. If the pool hadn't been near the cinchona tree, it wouldn't have contained quinine. If the man hadn't drunk the water, he would probably have died. If the man hadn't drunk the water, quinine wouldn't have been discovered, and many other people would have died. Alexander Fleming was examining some bacteria. Then he went on holiday. He hadn't cleaned his laboratory very well. When he returned, he discovered that there was some mold on his bacteria sample. To his surprise, on this sample, the bacteria had disappeared. That's how penicillin was discovered, and later other antibiotics. If Fleming's laboratory hadn't been messy, the mold wouldn't have developed on the bacteria sample. If the mold hadn't developed, the bacteria wouldn't have disappeared. Fleming wouldn't have discovered penicillin. If Fleming hadn't discovered penicillin, many people would have died.
Making great discoveries by accident is called serendipity. For more amazing stories, watch us every Wednesday at 7 p.m.
Hello again. You already know the first conditional and the second conditional. In today's lesson, we will talk about the third conditional. As you remember, you use the first conditional to refer to the future and to say what is going to happen if a condition is met. You use the second conditional to talk about imaginary situations in the present or in the future. You use the third conditional to talk about imaginary situations in the past. In other words, you use the third conditional to say what would have happened in the past if something else had or hadn't happened. Look at the structure of third conditional sentences. In the clause describing the condition after if, you use the past perfect. In the part describing the effect, you use would or wouldn't, plus have, plus the third form of the verb, the past participle. Look at an example from the video. If the man hadn't drunk the water, he would probably have died. As with the first and second conditional, in the third conditional, the order of the clauses is interchangeable. If the sentence starts with the if clause, you put a comma at the end of that clause. That's all for today. Thank you.